Hey everybody, it's James here at the Sawyer Family Reviews channel. Today is Wednesday, March 4th, 2020. This is your weekly comic book pickups video. Every week, I pick up my kids some comic books. Sometimes he gets some for me too. And I always pick up my comics at Queen City Comics in Fairfield, Ohio, zip code 45014. If you're in the area and into comics, check out the shop. While you're over there, check out the toy department. As of Saturday, it'll be right next door when we expand into the bigger location. So you'll be able to go toy department, Queen City Comics. Toy department, Queen City Comics. All right, let's jump in. There's going to be some big changes in the stack. I'm going to talk about them once I get through some things. Little spoiler there at the end, so let's move it out of the way. But yeah, big changes. And I kind of spoiled it a little bit with the title of this video, but let's jump in. True Believers, now we've moved past the 2020 event, and now we're on the Empire event. So these are $1 reprints of classic Marvel tales that tie into something that's currently going on. I guess it's for this event called Empire. I don't know anything about that one, so that's new to me. But there's two this week, and I grabbed them both because they're both Avengers books. Let's see. Avengers, the only good alien is a dead alien. That's pretty true. Well, no, wait, it's not true. Marvel's pretty cool. We got co-starring Captain Marvel, the Man Without a World, Empire, Marvel. And that's how I say it. I say it Marvel, or Marvel, however you want to say it. I don't know. We got Roy Thomas writing and Sal Buscema doing the arts. And then this is a reprint of Avengers number 89. And as you can tell by the front, it involves Captain Marvel. Look at this. Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, Annihilus, Vision, the Kree Supreme Intelligence, Kree Sentry. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Next up we've got Avengers Empire Mantis. And this one is $1, of course, and reprints. Where you at? $1.33 by Steve Englehart, again with Sal Buscema doing the art. Buscema, potato, patata. Yeah, so let's get into this. There's Mantis. You may know her from Guardians of the Galaxy. Fantastic Four, Behold, Galactus. Oh, that's all about. Yes, these are just a couple of classic Avengers stories. It's more the fact that you're getting a classic comic for $1. I try to pick stuff that I know that the boys would enjoy reading, and most of the time it's like mainstream Marvel stuff and like pre-2000s that interest them the most. So can't go wrong with those for $1 each for some classic Avengers action. This is for Keaton, Spider-Man Noir #1. This one got teased during the Spider-Verse issue 5, I want to say, that I picked up for him, and he really liked that. He was like, oh man, that was really great. And he saw the ad for that Spider-Man Noir. He's like, oh, I need Spider-Man Noir. So Spider-Man Noir, you probably, if you saw Spider-Verse, you know Spider-Man Noir. He's like a alternate reality version of Spider-Man from 1939 that fights like mobsters. Nick Cage did a great job doing his voice. I forgot to show you the creative team. This is $3.99 in case I didn't say that. We've got Margaret Stoll doing the writing and Juan Ferreira doing the art. I don't know if he did the art on the... Yeah, I don't think he did the art on that Spider-Verse issue. But this is good. This looks good. Ooh, I really like this art. This art is really cool. This fits this character really well. Kind of reminds me of Clayton Crane, I think is what his name was. Like his kind of art. Yeah. Well, that looks good. That looks good. I think he's going to like that. Then we've got a Goon issue for Blaze, and he is going to be disappointed. I can already tell you he'll be disappointed, because not only is Eric Powell not writing it, those have been frustrating, the ones where Eric Powell writes it and then somebody else does the art, but he isn't even writing this one. So we've got a Goon issue 9 here that's not only not drawn by Eric Powell, but it's also not written by Eric Powell. I don't know who this Roger Langridge guy is, and I could be totally off. He might be a great writer. But that's disappointing. It's like when Mike Mignola moved away from Hellboy, and somebody else started doing the art, and then somebody else started doing the writing. I sort of lost interest in the character, because to me he's so tied to Mike Mignola that it's tough to enjoy him as much when somebody else is handling the duties on him. And I think that's kind of the same way with the Goon, but I don't read them all, so Blaze will have to be the judge on that one. But he's got all the other Goon issues, so I couldn't just skip it. It's also very flimsy. Very flimsy. And then a book for all three of the boys, me, Blaze, and Keaton, is Ghostbusters Year 1, Number 2. That Goon issue is $3.99, in case I didn't tell you. This one is also $3.99. Always love the Ghostbusters books from IDW. Eric Burnham and Danny Schoening always do an amazing job on these books. They really feel like like stuff you didn't see in the movies. They're so tied to the movie universe. And so this Year 1 series is stories for each main character set in their first year. So as you can see, this is the regular cover, and that's the connecting that you can see here. I do the connecting covers. The boys are getting the regular covers. The first issue is on Winston. This issue, obviously, is based on Ray. Look at that. Look at the young Harold Ramis and young Bill Murray they've got going on there. This is like from Stripes. Yeah, so we've got a Year 1 investigation into the librarian ghost. That's cool. That's cool. Love this book. Love, love, love Ghostbusters. All right, and so now to talk to you guys about what's going on with me and X-Men books at Marvel. Last week's X-Men issue, The Crucible, was so distasteful in my opinion and so far away from the X-Men that I love that I've dropped it. I'm done. I was down to just X-Men and X-Force, and even though X-Force is still pretty decent, I'm just calling it quits. That issue was enough for me. These characters are so far away from anything that resembles the X-Men of old that I can't enjoy it anymore. The resurrection aspect got to me to be tiring, where there's no consequences to the story. But the more and more I read of these characters, them seeming like villains, and especially with that last issue, The Crucible, that was just so distasteful in my opinion. The things that they did to the Arrow, the younger Guthrie girl, in that book, I was just like, you know what? That's enough for me. This isn't fun anymore. It's not the X-Men that I want to recognize. It's kind of like when, sorry to ramble a little bit on you guys here, but it's kind of like when Dark Knight 2 came out. Just flipping through the book, I knew that I was not going to enjoy it. That Frank Miller had taken it in a completely different direction than what I wanted to see. I love Dark Knight Returns so much. It's my favorite book of all time. That I just said, I'm not going to read it. Because I don't want that in my mind. When I think of Dark Knight Returns, I don't want to think about where it was taken. My hand's starting to get tired, so I'm going to switch hands here. I didn't want to think that this is where the characters end up with Dark Knight Returns. So I didn't read DK2. I didn't need to read the new Dark Knight stuff they've been doing. I just skipped all of it to preserve what I think in Dark Knight Returns and not have that in my head of, well, this is what happens really. This is where it goes. So to me, I'm going to take House of X and Powers of X as an Elseworlds tale. It was really good. I really enjoyed House of X, Powers of X. I did. But the more we've gone with this storyline and this world that they've built with Krakoa and all that stuff, the less I've liked any of the X-Men characters and what direction they're taking all these characters. So I just said, you know what? I'm not going to read any more. I'm treating House of X, Powers of X as an Elseworlds tale that I can still enjoy on its own. But to me, this is my X-Men. These are my X-Men. This era of X-Men that lasted up into the 90s and 2000s era when it started to get really kind of off the rails and not written that well. But I want to think of my X-Men as this and not currently read a book that's constantly reminding me that my X-Men are gone. And I know that sounds weird to be so possessive over something that's really not mine. But, you know, these characters belong to all of us now. We all enjoy and love these characters. So instead of buying current books, the current X books anymore, for myself, Keaton, he can still decide what he wants to do, but he also did not like what they did in that last X-Men issue. And he's been trailing off on certain ones of the books. So I'll leave it up to him. If he wants to get certain books, he's more than welcome to. Me personally, though, I'm not buying them anymore. Not until we start to get back to what I recognize as X-Men. So I always want to support shops, though. And I don't want to recommend to anybody that they don't support their local comic shop, because it's not their fault that the books are this way. They have to sell a product, and they don't govern what that product is. The people that govern what that product is are the people that buy the books. If you don't buy those books, they'll stop making that book that way. They'll change something. If the books drop low enough, they'll change something. So that's how you send a message to a company, is by not buying the product. You can sit there on a message board and say, I didn't like it. You can record a video like I am saying I didn't like it. But at the end of the day, if you bought that book, that's all they care about. You bought it. So I'm not going to buy it anymore. And in lieu of that, I'm going to hit the back issue bins. So every time I'm there, and a new X-Men book comes in, every time I'm there, I'm going to dive into the back issue bins and grab an X-Men book. I have a lot of X-Men. I don't have every X-Men, though. So I'm going to just grab one. And so today, I grabbed X-Men 147. This was $9 in the back issue bins. This is a classic Claremont tale. This is after John Byrne left the book. I've got it in multiple trades. I've got it in something else I'm going to show you in a minute here. Well, I don't have it in that. But I've got it in trades. I didn't need this comic, but I'm buying this comic. So Chris Claremont did the writing and Dave Cockrum did the art on this. And the reason I'm saying go back into these back issue bins and read one of these books is so you can appreciate how good it was in comparison to the way things are now. This is a story that involves Dr. Doom and Wolverine and Nightcrawler, and Storm goes bad, and we've got Arcade there. Look at all this action on these 2 pages. And I'm smelling this old comic smell from here. Look at Wolverine right there. Easy or hard, it makes no difference. I'll keep coming, Doom, until I get you. That's awesome. So this is what I want to read. This is the stuff I want to read now. I don't want to waste my time forcing myself to read a book that I'm not liking anymore. This is turning into a soapbox on this video, and I apologize for that. But I just want to let you guys know, anybody that sticks with me and watches the videos every week, that's my choice when it comes to the current X books. I'm going to set this over here. I'm going to show you something else really quick. Okay? I'll be right back. So this is my other big purchase today for comics. Obviously, this is too big to sit in the car with me and me unbox it. But this is the X-Men Children of the Atom hardcover box set, which has basically Uncanny X-Men, or just, well, back then it was just X-Men. X-Men 1 through 142, I believe, all the way through Days of Future Past. And then a bunch of other stuff, too, that's like in the Epic collections. Other appearances after X-Men went into reprints. So you get 4 volumes of the Silver Age, a Lost Years, 3 volumes of Bronze Age, and then a companion. It's all together in this box set, which I can't really show you that well because it's all wrapped in styrofoam. I am thinking about doing a whole video just on this box set. I know Omar from Near Mint Conditions already done one, and he showed everything really well. So it'd be kind of pointless for me to do one too, but I'm so excited about this set that I may end up doing it. All right, let's go back in the car. So that about wraps it up. Obviously, I can't show you the Children of the Atom box set in with these other books because it's too huge. But these are the books for today. I'm really excited about just rereading this old book. This is super exciting to me, too. I love Ghostbusters IDW. I can't wait to see what Blaze thinks of Spider-Man Noir. And that about wraps it up. Talk to you guys next time. If you enjoy the videos, like, subscribe, notify. And have a great day. See you. Bye.